Welcome to WYCE's Community Closeup. Community Closeup is our weekly public affairs program produced in partnership with the Rapidian, our hyper-local news service of the Grand Rapids Community Media Center. Community Closeup brings you diverse perspective from community leaders throughout Western Michigan. I'm WYCE's Janet Zahn, and it's my pleasure to welcome Taryn, Dole, and Liz Barnett with the Area Agency on Aging West Michigan. Liz Barnett is an outreach specialist, and Taryn Dole, communications specialist, both with the Area Agency on Aging of Western Michigan. Find them online at AAAWM.org. Welcome, Liz. Welcome, Taryn. Thank you so much for being here.
We're excited.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Yeah, it's great to be able to provide information on the Area Agency on Aging of Western Michigan, whose mission is to support older adults with disabilities, and their caregivers to live independently and with dignity. I love knowing that you are the source for seniors in 9 West Michigan counties: Allegan, Ionia, Kent, Lake, Mason, Mecosta, Montcalm, Newaygo, and Osceola. So let's start from the beginning. Taryn, tell us about who is the Area Agency on Aging of Western Michigan, and who do you serve?
Yeah, thanks for asking. So we are an Area Agency on Aging, which was put in place by the Older Americans Act in Congress many years ago, over 50 years ago. And as you mentioned, we serve 9 counties for older adults with disabilities, and their caregivers to support them in living independently and with dignity. And so that's exactly what we do with our partners through the Kent County Senior Millage and the Older Americans Act. We provide services that support seniors and those with disabilities so they can continue to live where they want to, which is at home. 3 out of 4 seniors want to age in place, and that includes being at home. So that's what we're here to do.
I love the part that you're supporting the caregivers as well, because I think people know now the word is out that oftentimes it's caregiver burnout that can be the trigger point for older adults to not be able to live at home. So that's an incredible part of what you provide. Liz, will you just share some of the large number of services for older adults and caregivers that you provide?
Yes, I'd love to. So we do have a lot of services and programs. Hopefully I can give you a picture in your mind that will make it a little easier to understand. And if you're listening and you're thinking, oh, I wish my family member in another county that we didn't list could have access to similar services, don't worry. Area Agencies on Aging cover every county of the United States, every county in Michigan. So if you're wondering what that would look like for someone that you love or know, you can simply either look online, or you can contact us and we can get you in connection with that local AAA for your loved one. Now, back to the question, which is what services, programs do we provide? I like to think of this kind of in the picture of a house. I mean, we are all about trying to support older adults, those with disabilities, and their caregivers in a home. But if you literally think of a 3-story home, you have the basement level, the foundation. You've got the middle level, which is just kind of like where people might go for sanctuary, protection, and just to hang out. And then you have the upper level. And those are kind of a picture of our services. And what I mean by that is there are some things that we are mandated to do. The Michigan Department of Health and Human Services, they allocate money to us, and they say, if we're going to give you this money, you have to do these particular things. And no surprise, those are the things that are on the foundation of the house. Those are the things that we really have to be doing. And it's not just a mandate. It's not just a have to. We actually consider ourselves the source for seniors because we are very passionate about supporting older adults in their homes. Now, the foundation are like programs that are, and perk up your ears if you're listening. These are the long-term care programs that are provided in someone's home. Let me repeat that because a lot of people don't ever realize that this is an option. There are long-term care programs that can take place in someone's home. Most of the time, people don't even realize that you can have a nursing home level of care at home.
So people don't have to come to you for services. You come to them.
That is a wonderful way to say it. Yes. So let's picture a Mr. Smith or a Mrs. Hernandez who they've been living with family, but things have declined or progressed. And this family is wondering, where do we go from here? What do we do? We need more care than what really just my sister and I or the son-in-law and daughter can provide, So then they might start exploring options. And I think a lot of people think, well, maybe we can consider a nursing home, but we have been saying since the beginning that's not what we want to do. And that we're not anti-nursing home by any means, but we receive government dollars to help delay that, to waive that as long as possible. And so we have some foundational programs that provide nursing home level of care in the home. Now, of course, this is all meant to stretch tax dollars. So for some of those foundational programs, there are income and asset qualifications. But I always say, don't disqualify yourself. You might be surprised at the level of which someone can receive care. So the best thing is just to give us a call, talk with someone on intake and say, is this available? And they can talk you through that.
Is there a pay structure then for the services, or are things, or are some or all of the services for free for people?
What a really good question. So you're asking, are some of these programs you have to pay for them? Are some of them free? And the answer is yes and yes.
Okay.
As far as, let's go back to the picture of the house. Okay. So the foundational program, those are the long-term cares. One is Medicaid, one is not. And then, those are the things that we really need to be doing, right? That's why we exist. But then there are other and those don't include pay. Okay. Those are the programs, someone's paid taxes. All of our tax dollars together contribute to this program. Okay. Which is a wonderful gift.
Yeah.
But there is qualifications. But then if you go to the middle level of the house, those are our protective services. These are things like the Kent County Elder Abuse Coalition, which serves 9 counties. There's the advocacy group. There are caregiver support. There is another group where you're talking about how to educate yourself as a caregiver and beyond. I mean, these are services that are meant to be protective for seniors, and anyone can be a part of these groups. Anyone can be an advocate. Anyone can be part of the coalition that helps to prevent elder abuse. So those things are free, I guess, but those are things that someone would have to want to be a part of.
Sure.
But then let's go up to the third story. And these are the services where most people are thinking, but I need help with maybe errands. Or what about just a little bit of help cleaning the home and maybe help with my mom's shower? And what about fitness classes? Because if I'm going to stay healthy, I have to learn how to be stronger for balance and prevent that fall. So the third story is really about what are the accessible services that may include some minor cost or maybe just our donation, like transportation or home delivered meals. Those are the accessible services that we like to support in our 9-county region.
And those don't have any income qualifications. I see. That would just be those foundational programs with the Medicaid and My Choice waiver and those things.
What a wide range of services you're providing. I love the analogy of the house, and I feel like you've kind of already described at each level what is provided. How do people connect to your services if someone listening is aware of a need within their family or for themselves? How would they get connected and start to make use of what you can provide? Yeah,
so if you're listening or you know someone that needs help in the home or any type of service, you can call us. We're always available by phone, or you can even stop in. As you mentioned earlier, we do have a website, so it's AAAWM.org. You can find all sorts of information on there, and you can even find a service near you by using the Find Support tool. But you can always call us, so 616-456-5664.
That's worth repeating.
616-456-5664. Call our team. We can always talk to you on the phone, walk you through what are your next steps, what are your options, what can we do for you, what services are available to you where you live, because we cover a 9-county region. So where is the nearest stop to you? But you can also find us on social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, Area Agency on Aging of Western Michigan. Those are all the ways that you can find us.
Well, you are accessible and providing a greater accessibility for people to stay in their homes. I love that. Will you talk a little bit about what the transportation services can look like? That I know is one of the from my own, thinking about my own mother, one of the things that her local agency on aging helps her with is being able to do errands and go to appointments and stuff. So how does something like that work?
Transportation, because we serve such a large area, 9 counties from Ludington all the way down to Allegan County, like that's a big area. So we really support the local footprint of the transportation companies in each county. And that might include financial support for 8 of those counties. But in Kent County specifically, if someone hasn't heard, we support a program called Ride Link. So it's your link to getting a ride link. And someone who is 60 and older can be a part of that program. They do need to pre-register because obviously a smaller bus is not going to show up at their house without registration.
Right.
So registration is required, but it's based on donation. So if someone is able to pay, we're talking $3-4 donation. And if not, they're still able to have a ride to that medical appointment or to the grocery store. Whatever it is their need, RideLink can provide that. And so that would mean, giving some information and then arranging for when you need that ride. Of course, you have to be ready, 15 minutes before. And then when you're done, give them a call and say, okay, I'm done. Come pick me up. But RideLink is the way to go in Kent County. And if you're outside of that region, then calling the Commission on Aging or the senior services of those counties, and then that can get you connected to that local transportation.
And as Liz mentioned, we do have transportation for RideLink, but it's not just to doctor's appointments or just not to the grocery store. You can go to a friend's house. You can go anywhere in Kent County that you want to go, and you just pay the simple donation. Or if you can't do it that day, that's fine. We'll still come pick you up. That's
fantastic. I do think that the freedom and independence that helps to maintain for people is such an important part of the dignity. It's like, I don't want to have to ask my family all the time. I'd like to know that I can schedule these things on my own. And do they schedule by phone or online or both?
It's both.
Yep. So it's a really, that's just one example of all the many things, but I feel like it's a really helpful one. A great use of our tax dollars. I think that's important for folks to know that this is funded through, some of the money that we are giving back to the government is coming back to our community in the form of the work that you are doing and how you're providing for seniors.
Older adults.
Yeah. Older adults.
And really, to speak to that end, we just want to take a moment to say thank you, because so often a millage will come up for older adults in different counties. And when voters say, yes, we care about what happens, that's the heartbeat of what we do. We can't do what we do without the individuals of the community, and a huge shout out to our partners. We would never be able to service 35,000 clients a year without the help of programs such as Meals on Wheels and RideLink and Legal Aid of West Michigan. All these different partners, they're really the ones that make the magic happen for seniors who are looking to connect and to age in place with dignity and independence.
Yeah, it's our partner network that really meets our older adults in our community where they're at and provides those services in the home or in the community where they are.
I'm so impressed with the services that you provide, and really grateful that you took time to come in and talk with me today so that our listeners can learn more about what's available in this wide West Michigan region. So together with community partners and through the Older Americans Act and Kent County Senior Millage, all these things together, AAAWM provides person-centered care that empowers individuals to age in place. Is there any last thought you would like to add before we wrap this up?
Get involved. We have so many events. You can find them on our website. I know coming up we have Dementia Friends, which is where you learn about dementia so you can support older adults in your community. We have Advocates for Senior Issues. Get involved and advocate for the issues that are important to seniors in our counties. Just get involved any way you can. Give us a call if you know somebody.
Is there information online about volunteering on your website?
There is information online you can find in our newsroom. It's all types of events, articles, any media that we've done. You can find us on there.
Great. That's fantastic. Thank you so much for coming in. Taryn, Dole, and Liz Barnett with the Area Agency on Aging West Michigan. You've been listening to WYCE's Community Closeup, a weekly public affairs program produced in partnership with the Rapidian, a hyperlocal news service of the Grand Rapids Community Media Center. Thanks again for coming in.
Thank you.
This is WYCE's Janet Zahn. Thanks for joining us.